Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday. We are live on, I'm live. Me, and Jerry. Me and Jerry. If I'm going to say we, I better include more than just me. We are live on TikTok and YouTube right now. So, yeah, I'm going to answer some of your guys' questions off of the Patreon. The link is in our YouTube. And I think it's in our link tree as well if you're on TikTok, where you guys can ask me a question and I will answer it. So good morning or good afternoon or good evening, wherever you are. I'm so happy to be here with you guys. I don't normally do them on Saturday, so I thought I would do it on Saturday, give it a whirl, see who all shows up. So yeah, so here we are. Hi, Yolanda. Good to see you, girl. Hi, Pamela. Love it when you're here watching. That's great. Yes, Tatiana, you've bound me on a live. So awesome. Yeah. So I'm going to start with the Patreon question, and then I will get to maybe some of your questions. So we'll start with the Patreon question that somebody posted here. So yeah, let me just take a dive in. Just one sec here. Okay. So the Patreon question here is, hi, Amanda. My biggest struggle is that I can't decide what I truly want. It's hard. It's just hard for me to get a clear goal and stick with it, since I always find something I like better. For example, I want to get into a nursing program, but I can't decide where I want to go, what path or program I want to take. I want to be self-employed, but I don't know what kind of work I can do for relationships. I want this specific person, but I may want someone new next week. Okay, I totally get where you're coming from with this question. So one of the biggest things is being clear on what we actually want in our lives to be able to manifest it, right? Now, I think the important thing here to tell yourself is that nothing is forever. Nothing is forever. So throughout my life, surprise, Andrew's not my first specific person. It really comes down to, you can have what you want when you want. So, if right now you want this particular SP, okay, that's great. Next week you find someone else you want, no problem. It's really, nothing needs to be forever. Everything can be constantly changing. You can choose different things. Like, for instance, I thought I wanted to be a nurse's aide when I was younger, in my 20s, and I did take a nurse's aide course, and I found out through the course of that course that it just really wasn't for me, and I didn't end up going down that path. But I learned a lot from it. I got a lot of experience and knowledge from it, which has helped me to do what I'm doing now, and has helped me in my personal life and other areas of my life. So it really comes down to, you can intend, I intend to be clear on what I want. I intend for my path to be clear. I intend, to know exactly what I want to do. You can intend that as well, because I think right now we're intending, that there's a lot of unknowns. What are the unknowns? You can't decide where you want to go, what path or program you want to take. So, looking at what your end goal is, and then intending that everything happens to get you to that end goal. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know, when you look at a nursing program, I'm just going to go off what you said here. So when you go for a nursing program, you can still be self-employed, because for instance, in where I live, there's this company called the Nurse Next Door, and it's a private company of nurses, and people like myself or whoever can actually hire them to come into their house once, twice, 3 times a day, once a week, or whatever. So they're basically private nurses that you hire by the hour to help you do whatever you need a nurse to help you with. So I think a big thing here is getting clear on what you want, remembering that it's not forever. You don't have to do something forever. Like I said, I went to nursing school, thought I wanted to do that, to be a carry, to take care of the elderly, and it turned out it wasn't my thing. Later on in life, I was actually a community outreach worker, working with people with developmental disabilities, helping them, set up their cable, their phone, helping them with cell phone bills, helping them cook, do their shopping, taking them to the mall to socialize with other people. And I love that. And it was great. But again, I started my own business, and this is what I like doing now, is helping people and talking about the law of assumption with my little pal, Jerry. So, I think it's important to not, you don't need to make a decision right now for the rest of your life. Do you know what I mean? And I never look at any, thing that I do in my life going, it's forever, because it doesn't have to be forever, or it can be forever. Do you know what I mean? So like right now, for instance, I'm getting married to Andrew. And right now for me, I want that to be forever, but it may not be. So I don't have to, say that it is now forever, or same with create your future. I'm doing this now. I mean, I don't have to say it's forever. It's right now. And I may do it forever, or I may not do it forever. But what I'm saying is don't let having to decide if it's forever or not stop you from creating an experience for yourself right now. Okay. Don't put that on okay, I've got to decide what I'm doing right now for the rest of my life, because you can always change that. You may not change that. Right. But don't say, because if I said, okay, look at, what, I'm making this one decision and this decision is going to be forever. I mean, that scares me, and it takes me to not want to experience that and have that experience. Okay. Is what I'm trying to say. Okay. So, yeah. And you can always definitely, take a look and start to create things and experience things in your life. And you can always decide if it's your path, if it's not your path. But at the end of the day, you can always say, look at, for your nursing, you can say, look at, I'm going to pick the best school and it's going to be the best outcome for me and it's going to work out and I'm going to be totally happy. So you can always create that as well. But I think, what we've got here is, worried that what we're choosing is kind of like a forever thing, and you may change your mind, but you can always change your mind, right? Regardless of what you choose to do, even if right now you think you're going to do that forever, you can always change your mind. Or, you may just start doing something temporarily, not planning on doing it forever, and then end up doing it forever. So basically, guys, we're just creators, and we're living this life and creating experiences for ourselves, right? So just start creating those experiences, and you will start to find what you actually like and what you actually enjoy. So I did take a nurse's aid course, did that, didn't really like it. Then I took a neurolinguistic programming practitioner course, as well as a hypnotherapist course and a life coaching course. And I loved that. And then boom, I'm here right now. So, this isn't the first thing that I've done or gone to school for either. So, but you can always intend that, you do choose the best things to get you to where you want to be, right? So I intend that helps. Yeah. Let's take a look here. So let's answer some of your guys' questions. I struggle to affirm in my head without moving my lips and my mouth. Is it okay that I mouth the words as I affirm in my head? Absolutely. You can say them in your head. You can say them out loud. You can write them down. You can say them to somebody else. Every thought and every word that you say actually manifests in your reality. It creates new reality. So, if you're telling somebody like, okay, you know what, I'm going to go out tonight and I'm going to meet the man of my dreams. You've just done an affirmation and intention right there with that person that you're talking to. So every thought, every word that you have is actually creating. So can you revise something even if it appears to be final? Absolutely, because nothing is forever. Nothing is final, okay? Well, anything can be forever if you choose it to be. But I mean, so if something is final and somebody says, look, you know what, I'm done with it. It's final. I'm never going to. So you can always intend that they said those things and they didn't really mean it, that they're going to have a change of heart, that they're going to change their mind. Because remember, guys, everyone is you pushed out. All of your thoughts are constantly transmitting out into the world, okay? So, if somebody said something was final, that's because you're creating that assumption that that's what it's going to be. So start changing that to, it's going to be, they're going to have a change of heart and they didn't really mean that. They've thought it through and decided that, it's not that big of a deal or whatever the situation is, right? Yeah. What else do we got here, guys? What else do we got? So we've got one here. Hi, Amanda. I've been on a mental diet and affirming for a bit. It's going well, but I get intrusive images, which are the opposite of my desires. Is that normal? Well, I mean, nothing's abnormal, right? So, especially if you're changing your mental diet, there may be some, times where these intrusive thoughts do come in, that you're having these positive thoughts. And then all of a sudden, the nasty voice comes up and says something. So I would intend that, you're able to stay on your mental diet easily and effortlessly. You only have thoughts that make you feel good, that are in line with what your end goal is. But when you do have them, it's just like, Thank you for sharing. And then what do you want instead? Use that time to go, oh, wait a minute. I had this intrusive thought that's like negative, which I don't want because it's the opposite of my desires. What do I want instead? So I use those intrusive thoughts and images as an opportunity to go, wait a minute. Hey, let me clean that up. This is what I want instead. Okay. And, and the more that you switch those thoughts, the less that you're going to have of them, because what happens, right, in our mind is when we have a thought pattern, right, our mind actually wires together in that pattern. So like one thing could trigger, that thought pattern, and then your subconscious brain will just take it away and go, okay, this is that, that's this, that. Next thing you know, you have anxiety, right? Like for instance, let's say, you did a class project, okay, and you were presenting to the class. It didn't go well. You got embarrassed, and then you ended up with anxiety with public speaking. So, in the future, you may have something that happens when you go to public speak. You may think of that time, and then boom, we're back in that anxious state. So to break that thought pattern, you have to interrupt it and change it. And the more you interrupt it and change it and start getting a better outcome, then those intrusive thoughts will actually stop happening. So it's going to take a little bit more work. I mean, yeah, it's normal, but it's not going to stay forever. You are going to be able to change it, and it'll be a distant memory. Pretty soon, you're going to convince yourself for your new story, and that intrusive thought's going to come, and you're going to be like, oh my goodness, yeah, totally over it. No, it's got no place. I don't believe it. The other thing, right, is changing your perspective on that intrusive thought, the opposite, right? And just kind of going, well, no, like for instance, right? Let's say, I don't know, I have a fight with Jerry, and I'm intending that he forgives me and he's over it and he's happy again. But then I have a thought that he's like, no, he's never going to get over it. And then I can sit there and think to myself, well, you know what? Never get over it. Like, that's kind of extreme, isn't it? No, everybody gets over everything. So changing my perspective on that, intrusive thought, and kind of like, reasoning it away that it's, not a legit thought. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I intend that makes sense. So what else do we got going here, guys? Let's see. So, hello. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Monica. I got earrings for Valentine's Day. These ones here. Yeah. Let's see here. So why, after I started affirming for my specific person, I feel like letting go of him, even though I've been attached to him for almost 2 years. I'm afraid I'm going to manifest the bad stuff again. Okay. So that's probably why, because you feel like you're going to manifest the bad stuff again, right? So we need to forgive ourselves. We need to forgive ourselves and, and sort of like, get over the bad stuff that we've actually manifested, all the resentment, the anger, that sort of thing. So, if you want somebody or you want something in your life, right, you've got to focus on it, and you've got to be okay with it. But if you're too scared, to manifest it because you're worried about the bad stuff, right, that's something that you're going to have to actually get over. I think that's really, really important, right? If you're like just sick of it, done with it, over it, and wanting to let the person go, then, maybe take a break from it for a while, and then, forgive yourself for all the past stuff. Like, forgive yourself and start focusing on what you want to see instead. Because part of me, it comes down to trusting yourself, right? Forgiving yourself for the past things that you manifested and trusting yourself. So what I suggest is doing the list of little tiny manifestations to convince yourself that, law of assumption is real. This is totally real. This is totally true. Because it's easier to forgive yourself and to get over the past when you're like, oh, you know what? I totally manifested it. That's my thoughts. Okay, over it. And it's easy not to hold it against the person, right? Because they're just showing up the way that you've assumed them to show up. So once we take responsibility for that, then we've got to trust ourselves and say, look at, no, you know what? I'm a changed person. I'm only going to create good things in my relationship. The bad things are never going to happen again. And if some of the bad things do start to show back up again, you got to catch yourself and say, no, we aren't creating this again. This is what we're going to create instead. The only fight is with yourself, really. It's about getting out of your own self's way. Now, don't get me wrong, right? If you've created a situation where you just can't get past that, then it's not a huge deal. Like, I mean, you know, you can manifest somebody new, but if you want somebody, then you're going to have to get past that. Neither is right and wrong. I mean, you're the creator of your life. You know, you can manifest back somebody, or you can move on to somebody new. I mean, it's completely up to you, right? Yes. Oh, thank you for loving the content. We do appreciate it. The coaches and I, we get up every day and, you know, come on here and help all of you guys. So you guys, you know, live you know, like be able to manifest and live the life of your dreams. Right. So thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah. So, do you have any tips on pushing through when you feel hopeless? I keep getting opposite results. I feel like I can't manifest the little things anymore. Okay. So, we need to start saying, look at, I always get the results that I want. All the little things manifest. I intend to see that everything I want manifest. I intend to see how I manifest everything in my reality. You know, I intend to feel like this is working. I intend to feel excited about my life every day. I intend to feel like everything I want to manifest shows up to me immediately. I intend everything I manifest makes me feel good. So I would start saying that, you know, to get this, you know, back. Oh, so Sarah, why are my comments being deleted? Well, we do, guys, delete negative comments, you know, because it is a positive community. Now, Sarah, I don't know if yours were negative, but we do have keywords that are blocked. So depending on what words you're using, but I mean, the other thing, to be honest, is sometimes YouTube comments don't work. I know I've put in tickets for, you know, myself because I wasn't able to comment even on my own YouTube channel. With YouTube, there was an error. So, yeah, it wasn't negative. Yeah. I mean, maybe email us at session, Sarah, and we can see if we're even getting them. I'm not sure, but I know, like I said, with YouTube, I've had to put in a ticket because I wasn't able to comment and some of the coaches weren't able to comment from their account, and they said it was a known issue. So it could be a YouTube thing. But I mean, I haven't seen your name actually on the comments, and I do look through them. So maybe email us and we can see if it's got blocked somehow. Yeah, because yeah, if it wasn't negative, then we wouldn't have deleted it. So it wouldn't have been us. Yeah, we have no problem saying we delete negative comments, because if we don't, people email us to delete them. So we want to have a happy, you know, community for everybody. Yeah. So guys, you know what? Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Sarah, make sure that you email us and we'll, with your YouTube name, we'll make sure that you haven't gone on to any, you know, blocked list by accident. But I haven't seen any of your comments. So if you're not there, we can let you know. And then I would email YouTube. Definitely. YouTube's had issues in the past. So yeah, so thank you guys so much for being here. If you would like to ask me a question, the link is in our YouTube descriptions for the Patreon, and you can post your questions there and I will definitely answer them. So guys, thank you for being here. Happy Saturday. Jerry says hi, and he intends that all of you guys have a great day and you manifest the life of your dreams. So yeah, thank you so much, and we'll see you guys in the next live. Bye-bye.
Well, that was quick.